Terry Smith is often called the English Warren Buffett, and we will actually compare them in this video to see if this nickname is justified. Terry Smith is the founder and CEO of a fund management company called Fundsmith. Well, he certainly did not waste any money on a PR team to create this name. And he has a very simple three-step investment strategy. Buy good companies, don't overpay, and do nothing. So today we will look at the changes he made to his portfolio in the last quarter. We will go through the history of his biggest investments, and hopefully we will not only find some investment ideas, but more than that, we will learn quite a lot about his investment style. So his US portfolio is currently worth around $24 billion, and he owns 39 stocks. And of course, we will not analyze all of those companies, but we will take a quick look at his investments from 10th biggest position in the portfolio all the way to the 6th position. And then we will spend a bit more time concentrating on his 5 biggest investments. So this is his portfolio: Microsoft, Stryker, Meta Platforms, Philip Morris, IDEXX Laboratories, Visa, McCormick Co, PepsiCo, Automatic Data Processing, Estee Lauder, and other investments. And before we go through the history of his biggest investments, let's see if he made any substantial changes to his portfolio in the last quarter. Well, he made 2 really meaningful moves. One, he closed his position in Amazon, which made up over 3% of his portfolio. And he also added over 182% to his position in Procter & Gamble, making it 3.1% of his portfolio. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the companies from 10th all the way to 6th, and let's start with Estee Lauder. It makes up 4.46% of his portfolio, and last quarter he reduced this position by 0.18%. Next up is Automatic Data Processing. It makes up 5.1% of his portfolio, and last quarter he reduced this position by 0.28%. At number 8 we have PepsiCo. It makes up 5.16% of his portfolio, and last quarter he reduced this position by 0.2%. Next is McCormick Co. It makes up 5.66% of his portfolio, and last quarter he reduced this position by 0.2%. Terry Smith's 6th biggest investment is Visa. It makes up 5.74% of his portfolio, and last quarter he added to this position 2.63%. And before we take a closer look at the top 5 positions, let's see if Terry Smith deserves to be called the English Warren Buffett. Let's compare their performance. So in the last year, Terry Smith's performance was 16.77% and Warren Buffett's was 13.76%. That is very nice, but 1 year is a very short term in investing, so let's look at 5 years. It is 28.73% for Terry Smith, and for Buffett, it is 50.29%. So the difference is quite big, but nothing crazy. But the most important metric is the long-term performance. Let's take a look at the results after 10 years. Terry Smith made 173.51% and Warren Buffett made 158.58%. So Terry Smith actually has better results in the last 10 years. But we have to remember that the scale of operation for Buffett is much greater, which makes it harder to get such results. But they are pretty close, so not a bad job by Terry Smith. Okay, let's go back to the 5 top positions in his portfolio. And let's start with IDEXX Laboratories. It makes up 6.24% of his portfolio, and last quarter he added to this position 0.25%. IDEXX Laboratories is a global leader in animal health and technology. The company provides diagnostic products and services for companion animals and livestock. Unfortunately, we don't know when he bought his first shares of this company because we only have data since Q2 2018, when the price was around $220. But we know that it is a long-term investment for Terry Smith, and this position is getting smaller through the years. We see a first reduction around Q1 2020 and then another one 2 years later, which was under 15%, with the price at around $550. So a massive gain since 2018. Next up is Philip Morris. It makes up 6.47% of his portfolio, and last quarter he reduced this position by 4.12%. Philip Morris International is an American multinational tobacco company with products sold in over 180 countries. The most recognized and best-selling product of the company is Marlboro. Other important brands are L&M, Chesterfield, Bond Street, and IQOS. He was adding to this position all through the years, and during Q1 2020, when COVID started, the price went down substantially and he added significantly to this position. But in Q1 2022, we see a huge reduction of over 19%. So he was growing this investment, he was taking advantage of some price swings, but then, for some reason at the beginning of 2022, he changes his behavior and sells a lot of shares. Okay, let's go to the podium places. At number 3, we have Meta Platforms. It makes up 6.81% of his portfolio, and last quarter he reduced this position by 0.2%. Meta is of course the parent company for Facebook, Instagram, Threads and WhatsApp, among other products and services. As with other investments, we have data only since Q2 2018, so we don't know when he bought his first shares. And the price went just over $190 back then. And in Q3 2018, he added 8% when the price fell to $165. And then, when the price continued to grow, he didn't make any major moves. And again, in Q1 2022, we see a reduction of 19.5% at around $220 per share. Maybe a bit too late, but again, before the main drop in price. So it is clear that he changed a lot of things in his portfolio around Q1 2022. And there can be a number of reasons for that, but we will get back to that in a minute. What is interesting is that he did not invest in a meaningful way in Meta when the price dropped to around $100. So did he miss his chance, or maybe he just didn't want to make this position over 7% of his portfolio? The second biggest investment is Stryker. It makes up 7.06% of his portfolio, and last quarter he added to this position 0.24%. Stryker is a major player in the medical technology industry. It designs, manufactures and sells implants used in joint replacement, surgical equipment and much more. This is also a long-term investment. Data from Q2 2018 show that the price was around $170. And the story repeats again. He is slowly adding to this position, and then Q1 2022 comes and we see a 19% reduction at around $270. And of course, as with all the other investments, he is significantly up. The price in the last quarter was around $300. And his biggest investment currently is Microsoft. It makes up 12.88% of his portfolio, and last quarter he reduced this position by 0.2%. Microsoft is a leading technology company that develops and sells software, hardware, and services. We don't see any significant movements through the years, but when the price hits its peak, around Q1 2022, we see a reduction of 23%. And again, in Q3 2022, we see another reduction of over 7% at $230. So these are his biggest investments. But before we get to the main takeaways, let's find out what was the story with Q1 2022. Well, to understand that, first we have to understand how Terry Smith's company works. The fund requires only a small initial investment, like £100 a month. So it has many small investors. If these investors want to withdraw their money, the fund manager cannot stop them. On February 24, 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. This caused many people to be scared, and it is possible that they decided to withdraw their money from the fund. We also see a similar pattern at the beginning of COVID, but on a much smaller scale. Okay, so what are my main takeaways from this analysis? Well, first of all, he only has long-term investments. Almost all of his 10 biggest investments were bought over 5 years ago. He also makes a lot of small changes to his positions every quarter. Why is that? Well, he has a lot of investors, so every quarter some of them withdraw their money and others invest even more. And he needs to make small corrections to his portfolio to accommodate these changes. And the last thing is the incredible fact that all of his top 10 investments are up. Not one of them is currently in the red. Tell me in the comments if you have any different thoughts or observations about his portfolio and his way of investing. I'm curious how you look at this exceptional investor. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.